Hi, I'm Claire. I'm 29 years old. And 3 weeks ago, two strangers knocked on my door and told me they were here to take my children away. Not because I hurt them. Not because I neglected them. Because they were laughing too loud in the backyard. If you've ever had a neighbor who smiled at you every single day while quietly trying to destroy your life behind your back, you need to hear this. Because what I did next didn't just protect my kids. It ended her. Stay with me. This one gets ugly before it gets good. Let me back up. I have 2 children. My son is 6. My daughter is 4. If you've ever raised a 6-year-old boy, you know the volume knob only has one setting: loud. We live in a quiet street. Small houses. Neat lawns. The kind of place where everyone waves but nobody really knows each other. Everyone except one woman. Her name doesn't matter. I'll just call her by what she was. The woman next door. She moved in 2 years ago. Alone. No kids. No pets. Just her perfectly trimmed hedges, and her obsession with silence. At first she seemed friendly. She'd wave from her porch. Compliment my garden. Tell me my kids were adorable. I believed her. That was my first mistake. Because underneath that smile, she was keeping a list. Every time my son laughed too loud on the trampoline. Every time my daughter squealed during a water balloon fight. Every single time, she wrote it down. I didn't know that yet. All I knew was that things started feeling off. She stopped waving. She started standing at her window instead. Watching. Arms crossed. Face blank. I told myself I was imagining it. I wasn't. One afternoon, my son was playing with a soccer ball. It bounced over the fence into her yard. He knocked politely, asked for it back. She opened the door, looked down at him, and said, and I quote, "Tell your mother to control her children, or someone else will." He was 6 years old. He came inside crying, asking me what he did wrong. I marched straight to her door. I wasn't rude. I wasn't aggressive. I just asked her, calmly, what her problem was. She smiled at me. That same fake, syrupy smile. "No problem at all," she said. "Just a friendly reminder." A reminder. I should have known right then that this woman wasn't playing games. She was building a case. If you're new here, hit subscribe now, because what happens in the next few minutes is the part that made my stomach drop. And it's the reason this story blew up everywhere. 2 days later, everything changed. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Ordinary. Boring. The kind of day you don't remember until it becomes the day you'll never forget. There was a knock on my door. I opened it expecting a delivery. Instead, I saw 2 women in business clothes holding clipboards. "Hi, are you the mother of these 2 children?" One of them asked, showing me a photo. My son. My daughter. Playing in our own backyard. My stomach dropped. "We're from Child Protective Services," she said. "We received a report of possible neglect and unsafe conditions. We need to come in and speak with you." I felt the floor tilt under me. Neglect? My children were clean. Federal loved. Safe. I hadn't done anything wrong. But that didn't matter. Once a report is filed, they have to investigate. That's the law. I let them in, shaking, because I had nothing to hide. They walked through my home. Checked the fridge. Checked the bedrooms. Asked my kids gentle questions while I stood there, heart pounding. Terrified that one innocent answer from a 4-year-old could be twisted into something horrible. They found nothing. Because there was nothing to find. But before they left, one of the caseworkers said something that changed everything. The complaint mentioned excessive noise, unsupervised outdoor play, and verbal aggression from you toward the children. Verbal aggression. I had never raised my voice at my kids in anger. Not once. I asked who filed the report. She couldn't tell me the name. Anonymous reports are protected. But I didn't need a name. I already knew. I looked out my window. And there she was. Standing on her porch. Watching the CPS car parked in my driveway. Sipping her coffee. Smiling. If you're feeling that same fire in your chest right now that I felt that day, drop a comment with just one word. Karma. I want to see how many of you are still with me, because trust me, She's going to earn every bit of what's coming. That night, after the caseworkers left, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I sat at my kitchen table in silence, staring at the wall, feeling something cold settle into my chest. She had called the police on my children for laughing. She had put my family through the most terrifying afternoon of our lives. She had smiled while doing it. And in that silence, something in me shifted. I wasn't angry anymore. I was calm. Cold. Focused. Because angry people make mistakes. Calm people make plans. The next morning, I called a family lawyer. Not to sue her. Not yet. I needed to understand my rights first. He explained that false CPS reports, especially ones made maliciously, are a crime in most states. Not just a misdemeanor. A real, chargeable offense. But proving malicious intent is hard. Unless you have evidence. So I decided to get some. I installed a doorbell camera facing the street. I installed a second camera on our back fence, angled toward our own yard, completely legal, completely within my property line. I documented everything. Every time my kids played outside. Every time she stood at her window watching. Every single detail, time-stamped. I didn't confront her. I didn't argue with her. I just watched. And waited. Because here's something I learned that week. People who build their cruelty on secrecy always slip up eventually. They get comfortable. They think no one's paying attention. She was about to prove that. If you think this story is intense now, wait until you hear what she did next, because it wasn't just one report. It was the start of a pattern. 3 days later, another knock at my door. Same 2 women. Same clipboards. Another anonymous complaint. This time, the accusation was worse. Unsanitary living conditions and signs of physical discipline. My daughter had fallen off her bike 2 days earlier and scraped her knee. A completely normal childhood injury. Someone had twisted that scraped knee into a claim of abuse. I felt sick. But this time I wasn't scared. I was ready. I showed them my camera footage. Time-stamped video of my daughter falling off her bike, crying, and me immediately cleaning and bandaging her knee. Video of my children playing safely, supervised, happy. The caseworker reviewed it carefully. Her expression softened. "I'm sorry you're going through this," she said quietly. "Off the record, this looks like it might be a pattern of false reporting. That happens more than people think." She couldn't say who reported it. But she didn't have to. Because as she walked back to her car, I watched through my window, the neighbor's blinds snap shut. That was the moment I stopped hoping this would just go away. That was the moment I decided to end it. If you've ever dealt with someone who hides behind fake kindness while quietly trying to ruin your life, comment right now with the word enough. Because that's exactly what I said to myself that night. Enough. Here's the thing about people like her. They believe silence protects them. They believe anonymity makes them untouchable. They believe you'll never find proof. She was wrong on all 3 counts. I spent the next week building a case. Not out of revenge. Out of protection. I gathered every camera clip. Every timestamp. Every log from CPS confirming reports and investigation dates. My lawyer helped me file a formal request for the case records, which, as the accused parent who was cleared both times, I had every legal right to access. And that's when everything cracked open. The records showed 2 anonymous reports, filed just 1 day after 2 separate incidents where my son's soccer ball had gone into her yard, and 1 day after my daughter's scraped knee bike accident. The timing wasn't a coincidence. It was a signature. My lawyer looked at the pattern and said, "This isn't just petty. This is targeted harassment using a state system as a weapon. That's serious." I asked him what our options were. He smiled, calm and confident. "Now we go on offense." If you're new here, subscribe now, because what happens in the next 10 minutes is the part that turned this woman's perfect quiet little life completely upside down. We filed a police report for harassment and misuse of the CPS system. 2 false reports, both cleared, both timed suspiciously with minor, completely normal childhood incidents. My lawyer submitted the camera footage, the CPS case numbers, and a written timeline. Filing false CPS reports isn't just morally disgusting. In many states, it's a criminal offense. Some places charge it as a misdemeanor. Repeated malicious reports can escalate to more serious charges, especially when they cause documented harm, like the fear and trauma my children experienced. Detectives requested her phone records as part of the investigation. That's when it got interesting, because it turned out she hadn't just called CPS. She'd also been posting in a private neighborhood social media group, accusing me, by name, of being an unfit, neglectful mother. Screenshots that other neighbors had saved and were more than happy to hand over once they realized what she'd actually done. She wasn't just a woman annoyed by noise. She had built an entire narrative to isolate me from my own community. And that narrative was about to collapse in front of everyone. If you're feeling that quiet, cold satisfaction I felt reading those messages, comment the word exposed. Because that's exactly what was about to happen to her. 2 weeks after the police began investigating, I received a call from the detective. "We have enough for a formal charge," he said, filing a false report to a government agency, plus a harassment charge related to the social media posts. I sat down on my kitchen floor and cried, not out of sadness, out of relief. My children were safe. My name was clear. And the woman who tried to destroy my family with lies was about to face real consequences. But the story doesn't end there. Because karma was just getting started. Word spreads fast in a small neighborhood. Once people learn the truth, once they saw the screenshots, the timeline, the pattern, they didn't stay quiet. The same neighbors who used to wave politely at both of us started crossing the street to avoid her. The community group she used to control, the one where she painted herself as the concerned, caring neighbor, turned against her completely. People she thought were her friends started sharing what they'd seen. Small things, rude comments, cruel remarks about other families' kids over the years. Turns out my family wasn't the only target. She had a history. If you want to know exactly what happened when the truth came out in that group, keep watching, because the next part is the moment I finally understood who this woman really was. One neighbor, an older woman who'd lived on the street for over a decade, reached out to me privately. She told me the neighbor had done this before, to a single father down the street, years earlier. Anonymous complaints about his parenting. He'd moved away, exhausted and humiliated, never knowing who had reported him. Except now, everyone knew. The truth was finally catching up to her. At her arraignment, she pled not guilty. Her lawyer tried to argue the reports were made out of genuine concern for the children's welfare. My lawyer submitted the footage. My daughter's bandaged knee, healed within days, completely normal. My son's tear-streaked face after being told to control himself for kicking a soccer ball. The judge's expression didn't change much. But I saw it. That flicker of disbelief that someone would weaponize a child protection system over noise. The case moved forward. If you're still here, comment the word justice because it's coming, and it's better than you think. Months passed. The case wound its way through the system, slow and quiet, the way these things do. My lawyer kept me updated. I kept living my life, kept raising my kids, kept letting them laugh loudly in our backyard, because that was never something I was willing to sacrifice. Then finally the day came. She was found guilty of filing a false report and convicted on the harassment charge tied to the social media posts. She received probation, mandatory counseling, and a restraining order that meant she could no longer contact me, my children, or post about my family online. But the sentence wasn't really the punishment. The punishment was everything that came after. Because a criminal record like that doesn't stay quiet in a small community. Word got around at her job. Her employer, a local business that prided itself on trust and community values, quietly let her go a few weeks later. Officially, it was restructuring. Unofficially, everyone knew why. She tried to sell her house not long after. Word had spread far enough that potential buyers, after talking to neighbors during viewings, started asking uncomfortable questions. The house sat on the market for months. If you've made it this far, comment the word peace, because that's what finally came back into my home. I want to be honest with you about something. I didn't feel joy watching her life fall apart. I felt peace. Because this was never about revenge for me. It was never about wanting to destroy someone. It was about protecting my children from a woman who used lies and fear as weapons. It was about making sure she could never do this to another family again. The single father down the street who'd moved away years earlier, the one who never knew who reported him, he found out the truth eventually too. He sent me a message. Just a few words. "Thank you for finally stopping her." That message meant more to me than anything that happened in that courtroom. My children are safe. My home is quiet again in the good way. The way where their laughter is the only sound that matters. And no one is standing at a window keeping score. She eventually moved away. Nobody really knows where. And honestly, nobody asked. If this story kept you watching until the very end, I want you to remember something. There will always be people who mistake your peace for a problem. People who watch your happiness like it's something to be punished. People who hide behind anonymous complaints and fake concern because they don't have the courage to confront you directly. Don't shrink yourself for them. Document everything. Stay calm. Stay smart. And let the truth do the heavy lifting, because it always does eventually. My children still laugh too loud in our backyard. And now so do I. If this story hit you the way it hit me while I lived it, hit subscribe, drop a comment telling me which part made your blood boil, and share this with anyone who's ever had a neighbor like mine. Because somewhere out there, someone is going through exactly what I went through right now. And they need to know. The truth always wins in the end.